our Hall of Fame festivities. Try to keep it informal for people to talk and have a good time. We tried the ceremonies, and those are tough, but we think people enjoy this a little bit better. But anyway, welcome. And Chris Evans is our master speaker of the ceremonies, and I'm gonna let him introduce these people. And anyway, I'm gonna get off the stage so we can get to this. Mr. Chris Evans, boy, it's Blue Jay.
Thank you guys for being here, and this is a great day. Just so everybody knows, we're recording this and we're going to put it on YouTube, so it will last forever. So we can go back and watch these moments, so we can always have them there. Before we get started with our inductees, I would like, if you wouldn't mind, if you're a Hall of Famer, please stand up so we can acknowledge you, and I will try to get everyone on here. So, Brent Hodge. Mr. Eddie Daves. Terry Pierce. Coach John Chappell. Did I get everybody? All right. All right. Thank you, sure. Thank you guys for being here. It's always great to see you guys. All right, I'm going to introduce our Hall of Famers, and then them or their family will come up here and give a few words. So we're going to go a little bit reverse order just to mix it up from this morning. And I can't wait to see you guys tonight at Jellsma Stadium as we honor our Hall of Famers one more time here today. Our first Hall of Fame inductee is Benjamin Joseph Joe Daves. Joe was a 1957 Guthrie High School graduate and standout member of the 1956 State Basketball Championship team. He continued his basketball career at Cockeysville Community College, where he earned all regional honors before serving 6 years in the U.S. Army. Daves later pursued a master's degree from Austin Peay University, leading to a celebrated teaching and coaching career in Tennessee. Among his many accolades are 3 Mid-State Coach of the Year awards, 4 District Coach of the Year honors, and induction into the Tennessee Sports Hall of Fame back in 1987. He guided his teams to the state titles in 1972, 1973, and 1989, and was deeply involved in Special Olympics and high school sports in the state of Tennessee. Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Daves. For Joe Daves, this is Joe Daves, but not the Hall of Famer Joe Daves. This is his nephew, and he will share some words for us. Thank you.
Well, I'm glad Chris clarified that. I am the younger Joe Daves, the little Joe Daves. But like you said, my name is Joe Daves, and I am the proud nephew of GHS Sports Hall of Fame inductee Joe Daves and son of current GHS Hall of Fame famer Eddie Daves. I've always been referred to as Little Joe in my family, and Uncle Joe has always been Big Joe. From my name, and any of you who have ever been around my father, you know how much my father's big brother meant to him. Joe Daves has been adored and idolized by my family my entire life, actually my father's entire life. And when it was time for me to be born, being named Joe after my uncle was a no-brainer. So I'm truly humbled to be here with you all today representing my uncle and the Daves family for this prestigious honor. Uncle Joe was a passionate man who loved his family very much. He was a devoted and loving son to George and Marie and a wonderful older brother to Pauline and Eddie. He adored his wife Judy and children Jeff and Jill. Whatever interest his kids had, he too was interested and invested in. If you don't mind, I'm going to run a few stories about personal interactions with Uncle Joe and then some accolades from his former basketball players as well. Many summers I would visit Tennessee and stay with Uncle Joe and Aunt Judy, who kept each other very busy. I fondly remember playing many rounds of putt-putt and many games of Uno at his kitchen table. I'll give you a putt-putt story first. It was a hot and muggy day in Nashville, and we were playing at Grand Ole Golf, a play on the Grand Ole Golf right there in Nashville. The facility was huge. It's got 3 different golf courses, 2 18 holes, 1 challenging 9-hole course. But I want to make sure you all realize that we're talking about putt-putt here to continue. One of the holes on the challenging course, Big Joe was struggling. After a whopping 12, you always had to hole out, I bent down to get his ball out of the cup, and I hear a whoosh, and then the sound you hear from a helicopter. Uncle Joe had thrown his putter 30-plus yards towards the clubhouse arcade and hit the side of the building. Everything and everyone on the grounds fell silent and froze. Uncle Joe calmly walked over, picked up his putter, walked back to where I was standing on the next hole and said, "Put me down for a 6. So there's his passion. Another time, might have been the same summer, might have been different. We were deep into a visit-long Uno tournament where we just tallied whoever won. I was on a hot winning streak, let's say 10 to 15 hands in a row. Uncle Joe told me, "All right, you little turd, if you win this hand, I'm tearing up this deck and we're buying a new one." Well, you can guess what happened. I won the hand, and Big Joe proceeded to tear up all the Uno cards in that deck. After he was done diligently ripping every last card, we got up, jumped in his truck, drove to Walmart, and bought a new deck. I kept a few of those cards for a very long time in my wallet after and into adulthood. I sure wish I'd come across those someday. I was looking for them this week and couldn't find them, but there was his competitiveness. And then last personal story, Uncle Joe was a diehard New York Yankees fan from growing up. He loved Gary, Berra, DiMaggio, and especially Oklahoma's own Mickey Mantle, the Commerce comic, which we see all over this facility. My dad was a pretty good baseball player himself, obviously being in the Guthrie Hall of Fame, and was getting looks professionally by professional clubs out of high school and college in the early 70s. When Uncle Joe was coaching basketball at Motlow State Community College in Tullahoma, Tennessee, my dad, Eddie, was playing baseball there. Dad gets drafted by the hated and dreadful Yankee rival Boston Red Sox. What does Uncle Joe do? He puts on the Red Sox hat, shakes the scout's hand, and says, "To hell with the Yankees." There's his investment. So he was passionate, he was competitive, and he was invested in his fans. And although Uncle Joe, Big Joe, has always been a Hall of Famer in the eyes of us, I'm going to read you a few loving words from 3 of his former players, the real reason he's being inducted today. The first one, Pat Head Summit. A lot of you may know her as Coach Summit from the University of Tennessee, where she won 8 national championships and was a 2-time Olympian. In a USA Today article in the early, after they won the championship in 1991 in the fall or in the spring, she was asked by USA Today, "Hey, who influenced you when you were younger?" She says, and I quote, "Joe Davis, my 8th grade coach and history teacher in Clarksville, Tennessee, is a teacher I remember fondly." It's always a history or PE teacher with these coaches, right? Coach Davis was a great teacher, strong disciplinarian, and a perfectionist on the court. I admired and respected him tremendously. He influenced me to set goals and strive to be the best. Another former player named Kevin Anglin, who was on that 1989 state championship team for Franklin High School and went on to Vanderbilt University and played collegiately with them, and is now a 20-plus year current coach in Tennessee, said these kind words. "Joe Davis touched my life, and I was better for the experience. I could think of no higher praise than that for a coach or anyone for that matter. To have taught, to have impacted, to have made a difference in the lives of so many young athletes and students is truly the measure of success in coaching and in life. Coach Dave won many games and a number of championships, yet I would wager that looking back on his career, what he treasured most were watching the young people grow, learn, get better, and seeing what they went on to become. Coach was always working to get the most out of you, whether you knew it or not. A well-timed pat on the back or an occasional kick in the tail with that booming voice could make a huge difference in how you worked, played, or viewed your role on the team. I remember him kicking a trash can across the gym one day while yelling and throwing the player out of practice, only to find out later it was all staged because he felt our team had gotten too comfortable and complacent. I know my father has taken a page out of this chapter as well in my days in high school when he did the same thing. I remember days of doing homework down in the old Franklin High gym during study hall and having time to talk with my coach on a more personal level. I remember the pride and love which he talked about his family. I remember the satisfaction of his voice as he talked about being part of a state championships team in high school at Guthrie. And then he helped us accomplish that same goal and have that same experience. He was certainly a significant influence on who I was as a player and also who I became as a high school coach for the last 20 years. And then the last one I'll give you is from another former player named Kenyatta Perry. who played for him at Northeast High School in Clarksville in the late 90s when he was getting towards the end of retirement. And Kenyatta went on to play at Lynchburg University in Nashville and is also a high school basketball coach in the state of Tennessee. I am grateful and honored to be asked to talk about my experience with Coach Daves as he is being inducted into the Guthrie High School Sports Hall of Fame. I have so much love and respect for Coach and treasure the moments we were able to share together. He had a positive impact on my life, not only on the court, but off the court as well. Coach Daves was a leader of men. He was passionate about the sport of basketball and was excellent at communicating his expectations. There were many times during games that he would remind us this was what he had prepared us for. A few of those times he was a bit more boisterous than others. But we knew the trust he had in us to get the job done. Quick story from Kenyatta. There was a game we played at home and we weren't playing very well at all. The other team was not very good and we should have been winning easily, but for whatever reason we were struggling. It got to the third quarter and we were playing a little better and I looked at the sideline and didn't see Coach. I see him walk back into the gym eating a hot dog from the concession stand and the referee was giving him a technical foul for being outside the coach's box. You know that, wouldn't you? He told the ref that he couldn't watch this shit anymore. We are awful. We went on to win the game. He was definitely a character. From the off-season running to the practices, he was deeply involved in our growth and development. He was always there for you, whether it was during school and you needed to work with him, or after practice and wanted to talk, he gave you his time. Coach Daves believed in his players. He was the first person that believed in me. He saw something in me that I wanted to see in myself at that time and inspired me to be successful. You wanted to play for him. He had no problem holding you accountable and letting you know exactly where you stood with him. He instilled in us a tireless work ethic and a drive to be better. He gave us a confidence in ourselves to be successful and pushed us to be great. These character traits stayed with us long after we completed our basketball careers. This is a wonderful accomplishment for such a special man. I know he would be the first to thank his lovely wife Judy for her support and ability to take care of the family, which allowed him to do what he loved. His family was important to him, and his teams became a part of his family. He loved his players. Again, I am truly appreciative of the opportunity to share just a bit of what Coach Daves meant to me. I am thankful to the Guthrie Sports Hall of Fame for honoring my coach, my friend. Coach would always say at the end of practice, someone do something pretty so we can go home. Well, Coach, I think this will work. So, thank you all very much.
Very, very cool. And as the committee, we honestly, I didn't know Joe Daves, but as a committee, we got together and heard all this stuff about Joe. We're like, yeah, that's a no-brainer. You know, growing up here, being around Eddie Daves, you know, 20,000 question Coach Daves, but I didn't know about his brother. So that's a cool thing to have. And from a Red Sox to the Cardinals for Coach Daves. So go Cubs, go. All right. Our next Hall of Fame inductee is Preston Swanson. Preston's a 2004 graduate of Guthrie High School. He was a standout athlete in cross country, track, wrestling, earning varsity letters in all three sports for 4 consecutive years. During his high school career, he's part of 1 state championship team and 2 state runner-up teams. Individually, Swanson was a 3-time All-Stater in both track and cross country. In 2003, he claimed the individual cross country state championship. Now, living in Crescent, Preston works as both a firefighter and an electrician. Reflecting on his time at Guthrie, he shared, quote, "I had the privilege to run under Coach Tarter, who always held me accountable. I'm grateful for the drive he instilled in me." Pretty cool words for Coach Tarter, also Hall of Famer. Ladies and gentlemen, Hall of Fame inductee Preston Swanson.
All right. First off, I'd like to thank the Hall of Fame committee for this incredible honor. Being inducted into the GHS Hall of Fame is a profound recognition, and I'm grateful for it. I wanted to thank my coaches who believed in me and pushed me to excel, and my friends and family. Your unwavering support was pivotal to my success. But this achievement is not just mine. It represents the hard work and dedication of everybody who's been part of the journey. I hope to inspire and pursue others to strive for greatness. Thank you once again for this amazing honor. I'm truly humbled.
Thank you, Preston. I shared this morning, I went on Facebook and saw all the comments. They didn't think Preston was old enough to be in the Hall of Fame. So thanks for your classmates being here as well. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right. Our next Hall of Fame inductee is Tamara Gracey. Tamara couldn't be here today. We're hoping to maybe get her to the gymnasium during basketball season and we can maybe recognize her there. But this was me going into high school. So I was a freshman and Tamara Gracey was a junior and senior. So I got to see her real close and she was phenomenal. As I'm getting ready to read here, she was just tremendous. Tamara, 1994 Guthrie High School graduate, is regarded as one of the most talented athletes in Lady J's history. A two-time Daily Oklahoman Super 5 basketball team selection, Gracey was also named the Daily Oklahoman Player of the Year. It's rumored, Coach Chappell says it's rumored, 92 she dunked a basketball.
She did dunk, that's not a rumor.
It's not a rumor. Okay.
The rumor was it the first one ever in Oklahoma?
First one in Oklahoma to ever dunk, female to dunk.
Yeah.
Pretty good, pretty good. After high school, she signed with the University of Kansas and later transferred to Florida State University, averaging 10 points per game. Gracey holds degrees in communication and sociology from Florida State, crediting her high school experience for building strength that guides her today. Ladies and gentlemen, Tamara Gracey. Again, we hope to have her this basketball season. Congratulations. Our next Hall of Fame inductee, I see this word, I never knew this. Clinton Steele Colbert. Clint Colbert. Clint is a 1998 Guthrie High School graduate, excelled in multiple sports before focusing on golf following his family's tradition. He helped lead his team to the state title in 1998 and also claimed the individual championship, earning Oklahoma High School Co-Mel Athlete of the Year honors. Colbert continued his golf career at Savannah College of Arts and Design. They played really good golf there if you don't know that. Where he was a two-time All-American and ranked number 8 in college golf in 2002. After graduation, he played professionally and is now a Class A PGA member. Colbert resides right here in Guthrie, where he raises his family, and works as an assistant professional at Cimarron National Golf Club. Ladies and gentlemen, Clint Colbert.
Thanks to the committee, everybody, for this honor. This is awesome. I never really thought this would happen. I appreciate Coach Mashu in those years playing. Golf for me has always been a family affair. It was something I was born into. So being able to go to Guthrie, I was able to play on a lot of teams alongside cousins. And a lot of my friends I all met through playing athletics through Guthrie, baseball, football, basketball. But golf was always real special in this town, having the golf history it does. What I was able to accomplish here was send me out to the East Coast, a long ways from here. I'd never really been anywhere else, but it enabled me to travel all over the country, playing in different things. And over the years, I found out that there's really no place like this. There's golf communities all over the place, but Guthrie is definitely a one-of-a-kind place. And as I've gotten older, I feel like I just appreciate it more and more. The more I travel, the more I see other places. It just makes it that much more special. So thanks, everybody. I appreciate it.
If you're not any good at golf and you need to work on your golf swing, that's, I think, everybody here. Clint can help you out with that to this very day. So find him. He's at the golf course. Congratulations, Clinton. All right. Our final inductee that we'll introduce here today is Mr. Terry Bennett Sr. Sr. because it's Coach Bennett to me. But Coach Bennett, 1969 graduate of Guthrie High School, was a multi-sports varsity athlete. He earned his Bachelor of Science from Langston University in 1975 and returned to Guthrie Public Schools that same year to begin a distinguished teaching and coaching career. Known affectionately as Coach B by his former students, Bennett coached junior high football, basketball, girls track, high school football, and baseball during his 34-year career, amassing numerous conference championship and state titles. Despite his many accolades, Coach Bennett cherishes the opportunity to have coached his son, Terry Bennett Jr., creating lasting memories during post-game car rides filled with extra coaching. I watched Terry Bennett Jr.'s live feed this morning, and he said he's still coaching. He's still coaching. Though retired since 2009, he remains active supporter of Guthrie Athletics and often found cheering for the Blue Jays. Ladies and gentlemen, Hall of Fame inductee, Coach Terry Bennett.
I'd like for everyone that played for me to stand up. A lot of these coaches that are in the Hall of Fame, I coached them very too. If you played for them, could you hold your hand up, please? It's good to see you. Okay, it is truly an honor to be approved and nominated for this Hall of Fame, High School Hall of Fame. Thanks to the Board of Education, superintendent, principals, athletes, and teachers, bus drivers, and school staff. Everybody got a job to do. Yeah. And hey, we count on y'all to get us to the game and get us back, and we just, everybody's included. I'd like to extend a special thanks to my former players, all the parents and their families, and continued blessings. I coached for 34 years here in Guthrie, and it was a pleasure. Last but not least, I'd like to thank my family, my wife, my son. They're real emotional when I talk about it. So, just thank you.
Very clever.
I was one of the men who got to play for Coach Bennett, and I still wake up hearing, Raymond, use the backboard. He said it all the time. Use the backboard. I think Sam Privet had to hear all about that as well, too. It was a cool deal. I spent many, many days in the blue carpet of Coach Bennett's house. So
Set you free.
yeah, it was awesome to have him on here today. So I'm going to let Coach Chappell send us off with some great words here, but I appreciate everyone being here and so glad to hear all the great stories. I knew many of you, but the Coach Dave's thing was very informative, very educational, and sounded like a great man. So that was a reward this weekend to hear that story. So thank you for everybody tonight. I want to let Coach Chappell finish it off, but thank you so much for being here today. Thank you.
I'd like to thank everybody for coming, and I hope that you all enjoy this as well as I do. I hope to see some of you guys back next year or every year. Everyone's welcome, and hopefully we continue because, you know, some of these things, and if you have people that you want recommended, let us know. Let us know, because sometimes there's people we don't know about. We just don't know about. Sometimes we may hear this about them, but there may be something that they've done someplace else that we just don't know. We just don't know. So nominate those people so we can get those people on our agenda and get them where we're looking at them and those type of things. And we draw from these people. So we'll draw now from Coach Bennett, Mr. Swanson, and Mr. Cole, and we'll draw from all of those people and use those resources. Now I have tickets for all family members for the football game tonight. So I'll pass those out to you. Then the other thing is, I have singled out a spot on the visitor side, down on the bottom row. You're welcome to sit wherever you want. And of course, we'll be introducing you at the halftime of tonight's game. We'll meet down at halftime on the north end, down by the goalpost, by the rock wall. And we'll walk out the 50-yard line, and each one of you will get introduced out there during the football game. I'd like to thank you for your help in coming, and the room finally got cooled down a little bit. But anyway, enjoy. You can stick around here. I know Mr. Evans and myself, we got to go to the game. But anyway, thank you guys so much.